In today's episode, I want to send a congratulations to Botswana for holding, for having a smooth transition like that. It is unheard of in Africa to have such a beautiful transition from a ruling party to an opposition party, especially the ruling party which has been there for years, a ruling party which claims to have liberated the country, right? Those liberation movements, those parties seem to not go easily if they are defeated, right? They don't accept. The liberation movements usually want to hold the citizens hostage and say, because we have liberated you, you should always vote for us and we should remain in power forever. But Botswana understood, especially Masisi, the former president. I congratulate that man more than I would congratulate the president himself, the one who won, because he understands that the point is no longer about the liberation struggle. Thank you for liberating us as Africans, but unfortunately, as a new generation, as today, we want to go forward. We want to be economically liberated. The battle is now different. It's no longer with guns. It's now economic. We need someone who understands. We need a general who can liberate us from the economic crisis, from the economic poverty that economic problem that we have as Africans. We celebrate Masisi for being that kind of a leader, even with his remarks after the statements that he made after he was interviewed after the transition. He showed maturity. That is maturity in politics. That's what we are looking for in Africa. That's a kind of a leader that we wish we had in Zimbabwe. That's the kind of leader which we wish we have in Mozambique, as a kind of a leader that we wish we could have in Uganda. Um, I hope Museveni is gonna learn from Masisi. I hope Mnangagwa is gonna learn from Masisi. I hope the president of Mozambique and everywhere else will learn from Masisi, that this is not about you. The country is not your uncle's tuck shop. The country belongs to the citizen. If they vote you out, if they have decided that they don't want you anymore, they want new blood, they want to try new things so that we can progress forward as a continent or as a country. Please, expect that kind of maturity. And Masisi wished the best to the coming president. The handover was smooth. It was beautiful. It was amazing to watch. It felt like this is not an African country, right? Because this is not the type of politics that we know in Africa, right? Everybody else across the world was amazed because of him showing that kind of maturity and the intelligence that comes with. Even in his remarks, when he was asked by journalists what went wrong on his side, he never mentioned anything that, you know what, the country doesn't appreciate us anymore. We are your liberators. We are this and we are that. He accepted. We might have made mistakes. Our manifesto maybe was not appealing enough, but he did mention the statement democracy. We need to follow democratic process. We must uphold the constitution. There was no animosity in the transition. The transition was smooth. The animosity that we see in the continent, sometimes in other African countries, when they are defeated on, or when it is time to vacate office, the animosity that we see in other African countries shows that this is not about the people. This is now about themselves. It's them now feeling the pain of leaving the benefits that they were getting. And it's more about the selfish reason, because if it was about the people before you are even voted out, sometimes you can just realize that maybe you're just not fit for the position. You're failing to lead the country where it needs to go. Why can't you just decide to leave and step down and pave way for other people to bring in new blood and new comes a new president and new people around him? Let's try and see. Maybe change will come. But unfortunately, in Africa, it doesn't work like that. We have people who want to hold the country hostage. Once you put them in power, they become more powerful than even the people who put them in power, and they start using the arms of the state, the police and the army, to keep themselves in power, to protect themselves in power, using the electoral bodies to manipulate the vote so that they cannot be removed from office. I don't get it. It's no longer about the people. You cannot force yourself into positions. And I understand why they are never accountable to anyone, because I mean, at the end of the day, we are not the ones who put them in office, right? They put themselves in office. I mean, it is rare to hear that free and fair elections are held in Africa. um it, there's always something. There's always violence, there's always rigging, there's always manipulating of the vote, and the rest of it. So these people always put themselves in power, and they protect themselves and keep themselves in power, so they don't have to be accountable to us as the citizens, because we are not the ones who put them in power in the first place. I don't usually do this, but please, maybe you're just forgetting, maybe you're just passing through. If you are watching this video, you like, you subscribe, you share, help this channel grow so that we can spread the message, so that we can convene on the platform and share ideas and growth mindsets that can improve African lives.